Welcome, everyone. I think this is our seventh or eighth. What is it, Karen? How many times have we done this now?
Since November of 2021.
Yeah. And luckily for us, more than 50,000 people have been watching these videos that have gone up. So we thank everybody for their participation. And it's a tremendous amount of work. We do a practice round beforehand. We really appreciate everybody coming forward. And Marty's been at pretty much every one we've done. And he's been a great questioner at the end and participant. And we just thank everyone for being here. So tonight, we're very excited because Antoinette-Marie Williams, who won the 2019 Ladies World Championship in Monte Carlo, which, gosh, that would be a goal of mine if I could even think that far ahead, right? She's an excellent long-term backgammon player, winning the Texas State Championship in 2017. And then she was also on the 2020 Women's Team USA, which won the Ganud Cup. But mostly, the other thing is she gives really generously of her time as a volunteer. She teaches backgammon to New York City school children. She serves as the USBGF commentary manager for live and online ABT tournaments, and she's active in Women of Backgammon group. And arranging for guest speakers and everything else. So she helps all of us be better players. So really happy to have you here, Antoinette. And I watched your practice round. Can't wait to see what your strategy is going to be tonight. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Marty Storer has a distinct. I mean, he's a world class competitor in tournament play. He's a giant of backgammon. He's ranked 23 in 2019 and an BMAB Grandmaster Class 1 with a PR rating of 3.19. And really, one of the things I think is so cool about you, Marty, is that you're one of only 3 Americans to have earned that title. So what an amazing accomplishment. I could go on, but the other thing that he does that I think is really interesting, again, which puts forward the game that we're trying to put into a larger community. You're the executive director of Primetime Backgammon Magazine, which is published 4 times a year. So, and it's considered by many to be one of the finest game magazines in the world because of its consistent level of quality. So I could read off your many accomplishments, but we're just grateful to have you here. And again, I want to thank Marty for being one of the people who's here every single month, constantly putting forth amazing questions and commentary around the plays that we're putting out there. So thank you for your commitment to all of us, both of you, and let the game begin. Good luck, everyone.
Okay, there's Antoinette and Heroes, so I guess we can start. So what am I going to do? So that's full screen.
If you could be sure and share your screen, Marty.
Share my screen. Share screen. And there is Heroes. And I'm just going to do that.
Yeah, Antoinette's all set for you on the anybody who wants to watch on heroes.backgammonstudio.com. We're over in the external tournament room, Women in Backgammon, or you can watch here. Marty's going to share his screen.
Okay, I've shared it.
Yeah, I can see it. Karen, can you see it?
Yes, just
Okay.
fine.
Great.
And I'm going to say, what do I do?
Yeah, so if you click on Antoinette's name there on the left.
Oh, click on Antoinette's name. All right, I'll do that. Okay, and then challenge 3 points.
Yep.
Okay, good. Challenge.
3 point is great.
Okay, so we should be up here any second.
So Antoinette, you can accept his challenge. Antoinette, go to your heroes.backgammonstudio.com and accept Marty's challenge. External tournament room, Women in Backgammon.
Antoinette needs to unmute. She's muted.
I'm there. It
Oh,
says,
there you are.
please wait for your opponent to accept decline and then cancel challenge.
Okay, so you challenged me. Okay, now I'm going to,
No,
I
she-
canceled my challenge. Oh, you're probably, are you looking at my screen, Antoinette, or are you looking at your own?
Antoinette, you need to go off of Zoom and over to backgammonstudio.com.
Okay. All right, hold on. I see. Okay. Now we're on the same page.
Okay, here we go. All right, that's good. All right. Okay, so I've got a 6-1. This is a 3-point match, by the way. So I've got a
Yes.
6-1, and I'm just going to make my bar point like a good human.
Okay, Marty, may the best woman win, okay?
All right. May the best,
Okay, so I'm gonna bring down and slot my 5 point.
so if you read Michi's book, Opening Concepts, and you go through the proverbs, there's conflicting proverbs about this move. Antoinette just made what Extreme Gammon considers the best move in this, 2-1 reply to opening 6-1. But
Okay.
in Michi's book, you wouldn't know. So here we go, 6-2. Okay, so this is an interesting one. So I'm splitting my back checkers. I can't just let her make the 5-point and have my back checkers in limbo. So, but I can split it in two ways. Well, will the 2 come down with the 6, or just go all the way out to the 18-point and come down with a builder to the 11, like this. I could do this, or I could do this, which is what I'm going to do. Running out all the way is not a thing, I don't think. I'm not sure what's right here according to the robot, but I'm liking this very much. I must split somewhere. That's the key thing here.
All right, well, it seems to me this is perfectly okay, just oops. And coming down. I could split here, but I think he's got a lot of ways to point on me. So I'm just gonna, it's on second thought, I think I'm gonna split. Rather than come down and play safe. I think I'd like some interaction.
Okay, so I get to hit that blot.
Okay, so I'm just going to come up to the 23 here. Rather than come down, rather than making the ace and coming down with the 3, I like this better. I'm looking at these 3 places where he has builders to make his 20 or 21 points. So that's why I'm making this play.
Okay, I have nothing exciting to play safe, and it puts another spare checker on the 8-point, which is a good thing.
All right, making the 4-point and coming down seems like the only obvious play.
So now if I get missed, I'm doing really well, despite the fact that she may have 2 points in her board in that case. But I'm not afraid to go for that possibility of getting 2 points.
So fortunately, I get to hit it, come in and hit it.
Yeah. So now I must come in and I have to leave a shot somewhere. So what I'm going to do is put her on the bar and also minimize the shots. This is the fewest possible shots I can leave. I don't want to put a checker on my 2-point, but I do want to unstack my 6-point, and I don't want to be hit. So I'm going to minimize the chance. If I hit on the 4-point, I leave more shots than just the 12, any 2 plus double ones. If I go to the 9-point, I leave a double shot. Any 6 or 5, 4, 2, 4, 1 is 24 numbers. I'm going to leave 12 numbers, and maybe she'll stay on the bar with boxcars or something ridiculous.
Okay. I'm not sure about this one. I do have to come in for sure. So what am I going to do with the 3? I think I'm just going to play open. He doesn't have any board.
All right, so I could make a nice anchor in an Antoinette's board, but I really don't want her to be free to like block me or run out and control territory. So I'm going to just, and I don't mind her getting more checkers back.
All right, so come in on the 5. I think coming in on the 3 and hitting on the 5 is too big. I'm just going to come in with the 5 and come in with the 3. I know it gives him opportunities to come out, but I think this play is much better.
All right. So that roll is not the greatest, but so I have to leave checkers open somewhere. And there are only 2 plays. I could come with a checker from my 12-point and hit loose over here. Once I play this 5 here, I have no other 3 that's safe, or that's the safest 3, and it might actually end up making the point. Or I can leave a whole bunch of shots in the outfield by going there. And it's about half the numbers hit me. And so, I mean, I don't want to count them all, but then another, I could just hit loose and leave fewest spots and put her on the bar, but I better count these actual numbers. We got yeah, it's half the deck. And then there's other weird stuff that might happen. But I'm going to just take the chance, and hopefully I can consolidate those blots once I get missed, if I get missed.
All right, so I'm 2 pips up, but I'm shooting at a lot of blots. So I'm going to double, even though I have 4 checkers back.
Okay, so this is really tough for me to take, partly because Antoinette is a really easy game to play, and she's now got 19 ways to hit my second blot in the outfield. She's got a 5-4 to point on me in the 1-point, which is extra. So that's 7 out of 12 chance to either hit on the outfield or point on me. And then she's also got things like she's got a 2-2, a 6-2 to improve on her side of the board. I don't have a board yet. And to boot, we're at 3 away to 3 away, where I have to be conservative in taking. So I'm going to pass and just let her have 1-0. That was a critical 5-3 there that I played. I might have made the wrong play. But. Okay, so I'm still going to make the standard reply, which is to split instead of almost, starting to strip my midpoint a little bit. I could try to alter based on the score, but I don't think it's worth altering. I think I just made the best move.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna come up. This is like an early position in the game, so I'm not worried about getting pointed on. I'm still a favorite to come in, even if I do get pointed on.
All right, so I've got an easy 6 and a hard 3. I am a little ahead in the race now after the roll, so I could hit loose on the 3-point like this, or I can bring a builder like that, or I can advance like that, and I'm going to be a little conservative since I already have the edge. I've got 1 blocking point made, while Antoinette doesn't have any, and I'm 13 pips ahead with her on roll, so I'm going to play to protect my lead.
Okay. I gotta check her out into safety.
Okay, so this is a bad throw for me, and now Antoinette has a slight edge after I move, no matter what I do. So this is tough. I'm just going to play safe rather than it's a close race, and there's not that much great I could do. I could make my 5-point with a 3-2 and give her some 6s, but since she's already got other good numbers on her side of the board, I want to keep a little more flexible game plan. Now, I'm not at all sure of this play, but that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. I don't see any other play here.
Okay, that's a joker. Now I can make my 5-point without even slotting anything.
So I'm leaving.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got the advantage now, and the score really requires that I turn the cube, I believe, because a gammon would be really good for me, and a gammon would win the match, and a 2-point win would be really good for me too. I'm 19 pips ahead. I have a bunch of shots in the outfield. I have a 4-point prime. I have a defensive anchor. So, oh no, shoot! I fat fingered. Oh, I fat fingered. I thought I was doubling. Oh well, that was my mistake. All right, so I have to hit. Now, do I double anyway is an interesting question. Oh. Could lose my market with a loose hit and followed by a miss. If I come in and I hit this checker, and then Antoinette misses me, then I'll have it might actually be winning the game, but with a cube, but I'm just gonna roll because it's a little dicey still. I would, you know, a 6 or a 2 would be my main hitting numbers that I'd go for, and I'm not that big a favorite to hit. I could roll a double 3, a double 4 or something, but I'm just gonna, now that I have 3 checkers back and I was on the bar, I felt a little inhibited to double. Although we would have the cube, we would have been playing in the same position with the cube on 2 had I doubled like I wanted to last time.
Yeah, I would have passed at double.
Yeah, I think it was a take, but you might be right. I'm not really sure whether it was a proper pass or not. I'm inclined, when I'm in doubt, I'm inclined to take, but we'll see what XG says later. So now I'm very happy I can make that outfield point before Antoinette starts to prime me in. No. Now I can make a funny looking play. I could run out into a triple shot with my spare back checker and keep my 4 points in a row. Or I could leave my back checkers where they are, and I can make my 3 point. The trouble with making my 3 point is that I lose my 4 point prime. The trouble with running out is that I may be hit, but then I might get some return shots, and I would have a problem with my back checker anyway, and I don't want to lose that 4 point prime. So I'm just going to keep all my assets and bite the bullet here. She only has 27 ways to hit me, haha. So
Okay, I'm up 1-0 in a 3-point match, and if I double here, even though I'm up like 16 pips, he's going to take and redouble. So I'm just going to wait to see when I have a better position when he can't take.
all right, so Antoinette's right at the edge of that prime, threatening to escape. And I could play safe. I could come in on the 3 point like that. Or I could attack now. They're both attractive. The trouble is that I'd give her any 6 to escape and 5-1 if I don't hit. Then I'm definitely an underdog. And I might have to break my prime to attack anyway. I'm not in favor to point on her without having to break a point. I'm not afraid to point on her anyway. So I'm going to do it now. I'm going to enter on the 1 point and attack now, hoping that she does not escape or hit me. And if she does hit me, I might make a second point at her board, and then I'd have a flexible defensive game plan.
All right, I'm still not doubling here. I'm way up, but I don't want to give him an opportunity to reach you.
want the absolute most contact I can have, so I'm going to spread my checkers out. I'm already way behind in the race. I'm not going to think about breaking my 4 points in a row. I cannot even think about that. That would be the worst blunder in the world. So I'm just going to. My game plan is to hit something. That's my only game plan. I'll try it again.
All right, so I'm gonna hit him again. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Keep coming.
So I only have 7 ways to hit back, and a hit is not a win. So I'm not going to, despite the score, I'm not going to double. And now I've got a second anchor, and I can start. Now I can move to the next point that I want on my side, which is the 4 point. And rather than break a point on the outfield, which might give me a quick hit, help me get a quick hit, I'm going to just move to 4 point, hope to make that next turn. Still no thought of doubling. All right, now I am kind of, no, I'm not going to break one of my rear points either. I might need both those points for defense, so you get a back aim. So I'm going to bring that checker right into direct range, 6 away from my open 4 point that I want to cover badly.
Okay. I'm not sure here. He has 2 points in my board. So he's going to be in this game for quite some time. And I still have 3 checkers in the outfield to get home. All right, I'm just going to roll. All right. I'm still rolling.
All right, I come in and make my 4 points finally. Okay, I'm going to move my spare checker out. I don't want to move my checker on the 10 point all the way in because I might use it to make an outside point. Like the 8 point would give me a five in a row. And even the 9 point might be good. And if I move forward 1 point, I'm attacking my 3 point, which is the next point I really want. The 3 point and the 8 point are where I want the lead. I call it the leading edge of the prime, which is the 3 point. The trailing edge was the 8 point. So all all good players would make that 5-1 play without much thought. Now, usually, you know, in this as black here, you're just going to put your checkers where you want them. So I cannot move to my 3-point at all. I can't slot it. And I can't slot my 8-point either. But I'm just going to move this checker and maintain a position where I can attack my 8-point with 2 checkers, and I attack my 3-point with at least with the 2 spare checkers that aren't tied up making a point. There's no thought of breaking one of my back points. My thought is to build my board. If I can't hit a checker, then I'm going to build my board. Or my prime, as the case may be.
All right, I'm not sure whether I should move this. Two, 6, 8, 10, 12. All right, I'm gonna do this. Hopefully I can clear the back.
Okay, so I cannot make my 3-point or my 8-point, or I can't slot my 8-point. So I'm going to slot my 3-point. I'm going to keep both my back points again. And this will give me the most, you know, I have direct 6s and 2s to make a 5-point prime. I can also build my 3-point with a 4 if I need to. I'm hoping to get a triple shot or even a quadruple shot, if that's possible. All right, again, I'm going to keep my points intact. I must hit to win. I don't want to give up one of my obstacles. Now I've got 5 points in a row. Okay, so now I've got a double shot. But Antoinette is 8 checkers off. And you might say, gee, I might be getting gammoned anyway if I miss now. But the reason I'm not going to double, one of the main reasons I'm not going to double is A, she might take it later with all those checkers off. And why would I give it up now and then miss? I mean, if I hit a later shot, or I hit now, I could still lose the game. And a 2-point loss would lose me the match, right? And, you know, the good thing might happen, I might hit, and then my friend might roll something bad where she's, you know, I don't think she's forced to leave a shot with anything, any reply. No reply of hers leaves a shot. So another shot, another blot. So I'm just going to roll, and then I can think about doubling in the future if I hit. So, and good. Wow, I'm happy I didn't double because I missed the shot. Now the question is, do I give up my 5 points in a row and stay where I am, or keep both back points, or do I keep my valuable 5-point, very valuable 5 points in a row, and break the forward point? And it's tough, but I'm probably, if she gets by this roll, I'm probably going to have to break it anyway. And so I'm giving up like 2-1 double ones are really good for her, but nothing else is much better, because since I'm going to probably have to break my point anyway, or want to break my point anyway. So I'm just going to break it now, keep my beautiful 5-point prime instead of my 1 point isn't so beautiful. So I'm going to bite the bullet and do that. But I'm going to stay here now if I possibly can, because stay on the with a blot on the 22 points. So if you roll something with a 1, it'll give me extra shots. I can hit with 3 from the bar, 5-2, 1-2, 2-2, versus just a direct 3, which is I get 6 more shots if she leaves a blot now. And 2-1 is another blot number. And notice that I don't care about a backgammon. A backgammon is not, because a gammon loses the match right there. Antoinette gets 2 points here, I lose the match. So I'm not going to say I'm going to scramble out and save the backgammon. I want to stay back and hit a shot. I can still win this game if Antoinette leaves a blot next time and I hit. I can still win. My game plan will be to make a prime and get her, hopefully get her get more checkers. So this is a little funny. I'm going to keep my 5 in a row. I could slot my 2 point and not dump a checker on my 1 point, but the 5 in a row might keep me in the game. There's a blot number. There's a blot. Now I'm a slight favorite to hit, but again, I'm not. If I hit, that's not a win at all, right? Sorry, Antoinette. All right, there we go. So 3-2. I've hit my blot, and now I've hit that thing. Now I could break my anchor back there, which would give her a 2-1 as a blot number. She would have to come in with a 2. The only legal play would be to come in with a 2 and hit me with a 1, and then I'd have a direct shot, and that would be really good. But I'm not so sure I want to do that yet, because her double 1 would be killer. She'd go up the edge and hit again, edge of my prime. So I'm not going to go for that 2-1 possibility, but I might have an eye on it soon. Okay, so now I just have to attack if I can. All right, now I am going to give her like any 1 except 6-1 to leave me a blot. And I'm just gonna think that'll give me the most shots in the long run or the short run if she comes out. Keeping my back checker spread out. And if I roll a 2, I'm going to hit her with a 2, I believe. So I don't want her to get out. That is the 6 would be horrible for me. She can still roll the bad 2-1. So I could switch points to my 2 point. I could come in like with a 5 and 2, and that would give her any 1 at all, except double 1s. If I did that, any 1 at all would force her to leave a second checker open. But it would give her too easy a time escaping, I believe. So again, I'm just gonna spread my checkers out in the outfield and just hope for something good soon. Okay, now I'm gonna make my prime. That was a very good roll for me. Double 4s, double 6s, 6-5 did this. And I got one of those numbers. And now I'm just going to wait. I'm going to let her, hopefully Antoinette will roll a 1 and that will be good for me. And then I'll hit the blot. Just going to spare on the 6 point is usually very good to have. Roll a 1. How long must you wait to roll a 1? No 1s for the hopeful Marty here. All right, so now I'm going to keep my spares in good position, hoping for the fatal 1. Roll. Oh no, this is really bad because I can't. I have to just move around here. And I'm going to be an underdog in this game unless I can hit a shot. Now, since I have to break my prime anyway, I better put her on the bar. So she has to roll a 1, first a 1 and then a 6, or an instant 1-6 to get her checker out. And there's a 1. And now, am I going to hit again? I can't hit without breaking my board. There's the 5. It might be right to hit anyway, but it looks dicey. Again, if I hit her like this, she's got she might hit me, she might hit 2 checkers, but her escaping task might be more difficult in the long run. So I don't really know. I mean, that's the 5 for sure. And if I roll a 2, I'm going to go 4 to 2. Because her 6s are good anyway, and you know, this will give me an easy time closing the board if she does not roll a 6. It's horrible if she does. I may still catch her coming around, but it's really tough. It's tough either way. I think I'm going to do this. My instinct is to make a nice, pretty looking play like Kent Goulding was talking about the other week. I really don't know the answer. And another good thing about this play is she might have rolled a 1 and left 1 open, not a 6, you know. So now so now this is interesting again. Do I just close her out, or do I not close her out and hope for a long shot? I could hit her loose and hope for a long shot, but I'm just going to close the board. This will save the gammon for me. And, you know, this is basically just, you know, and now it's my turn. I guess, do you have to roll, Antoinette, to let me have a roll?
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to think about where I'm going to place my checkers, and I'd like to put a checker on my 6 or my 5 point if possible. The trouble, I could preserve chances to do that just by running all the way out like this, or I could just accept that, okay, this is a decent place for a checker here, and I won't have them 6 pips apart, which is called discommunication, which gives me a lot of bad numbers. Danny Kleinman wrote an article about that a long time ago. So I'm just going to do this. I'm not sure, but I think this is probably right, because I still have a good chance to get a spare checker to my 6 or 5 point anyway.
So I'm looking at a double here. And I'm not sure. I have 10 checkers off. And he has no checkers on his 6 or 5 point, no spares. So I'm really inclined to double here. Okay, I'm gonna double.
Okay, so this is a simple problem, but you have to know your chances of winning. If you're beside me, I'm gonna. What I need according to the match equity table is I need to take this cube. I mean, I can pass and I can be down 2 to 0 to 3. Okay. And the robot says that I have a little less than 25% winning chance. So I have to win 2 games in a row. And part of that is that I have to, you know, if I win, why don't I have just 25%? The chance to win the next game would be half, and then the chance to win the following game would be half. And to get the chance of winning both, you multiply those individual probabilities, and you get half times a half is a fourth. Why isn't it just a fourth? Why is it less than a fourth? Well, it's less than a fourth because I could win an undoubled backgammon for the match. There's a small chance I could do that, or 1% or something like that. And believe you me, I will have an eye for the situations where where it comes into play. I've studied that a lot, so I'm confident of my ability to go for backgammon when I should. And the other reason is that if I win 1 point after I pass the double, then I win the next game and I win 1 point, then Antoinette has got a free drop. If I become a favorite after the first roll, I should double her 2 away. But then if she's an underdog, she can just drop the cube and it'll be 50-50 instead of accepting to play for match when she's a slight underdog. Suppose I open with a 3-1 or something, and then she rolls something. Even if she replies with a 3-1, you know, she should pass that double. If she's one away and I'm 2 away. And the chance of her getting a free pass is it's only a couple of percent. So all told, the robot says my winning chance is 24.92. I need 24.92, assuming we're equal players, to winning chance. I need that much winning chances here in order to win, because I can drop. If I drop and I have 24.92% or greater from that position, if I take, I mean, I can drop and get 24.92. So do I have 24.9 here if I take and redouble to the for the match? And I think I do. So I'm going to take and redouble for the match. And this will be interesting to see what actually says, because I'm not limited to just bearing off and hoping. You know, I can play a little silly. You know, I can do better than just a naive strategy of just avoiding blots and getting checkers off. Like, okay, so do I take a checker off here and give Antoinette a double one to come in and leave a second checker, or to hit me and then not get out, and then leave me something to hit. And you know, if she rolls a one something, but not a 1-6, not a 1-1, and then I come in and don't hit her back, and then she can roll something with a 1 and do a second blot. Then I can attack her on the 1 point, and she can hit me, and then I can hit a second checker and become a favorite. Right? That's the parlay I'm looking at. But the trouble with that is that, you know, it's a long shot, and if I go for it, you know, does going for it now really help, or does it give her too many chances to just escape? And the answer is I don't know. And you know, if I were XG, I could do better than a human could do in a position like that. So I have to think hard about this one. Now again, a gammon, I don't care if I can't be gammoned if I bear a checker off, even at a different score. Gammons don't matter. I want to increase my winning chances. And the problem I've got is that an instant double 1 is only 1 out of 36, and then I can only hit with less than a third of that. And then if she rolls something else with a 1, would I rather be on the bar or not? And I think I would rather not be. So I'm going to play. This is tough. I'm going to. That might be a big mistake, but it just feels right. So now I'm just going to bear off a checker. And it doesn't matter whether I redouble now or later, but I'm just going to redouble now in case I forget later.
All right, I have to take, of course.
Yeah. So I've gotten 1 checker off. And this is going to get me either 3 checkers off or 2 checkers off. Now I'm sort of lacking builders, but you know, I've got that double 1 possibility. So I have to think about my winning chances. So with 2 checkers off against, she's got 10 off. Yeah, I think this is a tough one. All right, I'm going to play like a wimp. I'll see if I learned anything about this game. All right, that's great, because I can keep my 5-point board and get 2 checkers off. And now this is really good, because now I'm now Antoinette's doing well, especially if she rolls big.
I'm not sure. Is that 7? I need to take a check off. Let's see if I do this. That. I'm not sure about this ace. think it's better to select the ace point. See, the average is 8. Okay, I'm gonna do this.
Okay, now I need double twos or better. Which I don't get. Okay, that's it. Congratulations, Antoinette.
Thank you, Marty.
US estimated performance 3.64. Antoinette-Marie estimated performance 9.29.
She's
Antoinette-Marie wins a match against NWS. Your new rating is 1,662.29 from 1,652.52.
so what are we leaving here or?
Hello? Wait. Hang on a sec. I have my wife's here. Hang on a sec. Oh, you're not. Okay. What up, Chloe? No. All right, give me something.
For when you want to.
Oh, thanks, honey. All right. Okay, that's good. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna save the match file and import it into Extreme Gammon.
So we can close out studios?
Yeah, let's leave. I saved it before I close studio. I want to get that. I want to import. I want to make sure I have the file right into Extreme Gammon. So where is that? Extreme Gammon exports, is that right? Bear with me. I have to import the match file into Extreme Gammon. It's going to take me a minute. Is it NWS? Where is it? Antoinette. Oh, come on. Exports. Oh, here we go. I found it. I just have to run the file through XG, which I'm doing right now.
Phyllis.
I think I'm going to be dinged for fat fingering that no double in the first game. But it's going to take a couple of minutes for this file to get into Extreme Gammon, and then I'll screen share the my Extreme Gammon window. So we're almost 40% done with the analysis already.
Marty, I've emailed you the XG file if you need it.
Okay, no, I'm just going to wait for the analysis to complete. It'll be faster that way. Thanks, Karen. I remember when the what do you call it, when you look at the extreme Gammon analysis from Heroes, that's not going to be as high quality as the analysis I'm running right now. So when it reported those performance ratings, it said I was 3.64 and 9, and I thought it was 9 point something. But now Extreme Gammon says I was 2.06 and Antoinette was 9 something. So.
Yeah, I got 2.07, but
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to, how do I do this? I better stop sharing and reshare. I'll reshare and I'll only share my Extreme Gammon screen here. All right, that's what I'll do.
I want to say something while Marty's looking for it. I played a 9 point something, but I won the match. So we're not, some of us don't care about PRs as long as we win, but we would like to better our mistakes. So don't put all of your eggs in the PR basket. Just play what you think is the best play, even if it's wrong.
Yeah, I agree. You know, don't definitely play to win. You're not going to, you know, like I won something this past weekend in LA. I won the Masters, and I played a great player, Bob Wachtel, and I was tired. I was very tired at that point, and because one night I didn't sleep at all, and the night before I was playing this match, I only slept like maybe 3 hours. And Bob said, let's just split all the first and second place money for the Masters. And I said, sure, you know. And we played a 7-point match to see who got what trophy. And I won the 7-point match. And I suspect I played worse than Bob did. And I'm going to be looking and seeing what those mistakes were. And, you know, and so I care about next time, you know. But I was just happy to win. I made some decisions that were based on my assessment of my playing strength at the time, you know, being tired against Bob, who's not, you know, he looked fine and fit and everything. And so I said, all right, when in doubt, I'm going to be a little aggressive and la la la, you know. So it's not all about PR. And, you know, but we'll see what the robot says anyway. So last time, I hope everybody can see my XG screen because I'm sharing it. Now, what we can do is I can click this red arrow here. We go to the first error. Okay, and well, I want to look at one move first, which was I'm going to look at the first error. I'm just going to go to the errors. So this was Antoinette's 2-1, where I had opened with a 6-2. Now I think we're seeing the screen reverse of what we saw on the hero screen. So I'm gonna change that. Swap board. Okay. So now you're gonna see it from Antoinette's perspective. Well, I could do it. Let's see. I could do it like this too. I think I want you to see it from my perspective as you saw it in Heroes. So this is the way it looked to me in Heroes. You were seeing the board from my perspective. So here Antoinette had I got to swap board again. Sorry. I'll get everything right. Okay, so it looked like this to you. It looked basically like this. So Antoinette was going counterclockwise and I was going clockwise. So Antoinette had a 2-1. And she was thinking about she knew she'd make her 5-point. And then she had to decide whether to go 2-1 to make the outside point or to split her back checkers. And an Extreme Gammon says, all right, it's moderate size mistake to split. And I think I know why. The main reason is that a random outside point like the 11-point is valuable. Points are good, okay? And even for Antoinette to give me 6-2 to hit, 6-4 to hit, 4-4 to hit, you know, immediately is something. It's not that likely. And my 6-4 is duplicated. With a 6-4, after she made this play, if she made the play she made this, which would look like that. My 6-4 can be, I would hit with a 6-4, but a good roll would be to make my 18 point here. And so that's duplicated. And a 4-4 is good no matter what. So to hit, okay, it's a little, maybe it's more good to be able to hit twice with a 4-4. 6-2 is, you know, that's not really much of a duplication. I could use a 2 to make an anchor, so it's slight. But 6-2 is a big swing, and that's what I actually ended up rolling. And the other thing is that, well, Antoinette is ahead in blocking development. She made her 5 point. That's another point in the prime, another point on her board. And to split at this point gives me an attacking plan. Now, I'm not doing too well in priming. I've got some builders here. I've got 3 points in a row. But I got it all stacked up on my 6 point. And I would, if I can't roll something, you know, if I can't roll like a 2-1 and make my 5.32 and make my 4 point with these builders, I would love to be able to attack, let's say a 4-3, make the point, double threes, make the point, 6-5 or double fives. Now I've got an option at least to attack. Double fives, I would attack 2 and be very happy. 6-5, okay, I might not make the 1 point, I might run away, but I have that option. So I think that the answer is that, you know, the split gives me more options and it gives me some attacking chances where I would have not done that many otherwise. I think that's why Extreme Gammon doesn't like it. Okay, the next, so I rolled a 6-2, and then Antoinette she correctly made the anchor, and I did this, and then Antoinette made her 4 point and 9 point. I got hit back. They're showing the final position after each one. And then I hit her loose here with a 4-1, which so far the robot is liking it all. And now Antoinette hit and made her 5 point, which looked like, it looks like, no, she hit and came up instead of coming down with 3. So she's moving out to the outfield, trying to get out to the outfield. At this point, I'm going to go to the next error, which is, well, I guess we didn't make any errors that game at all. Did we?
Yeah, I didn't make the.
No, it was no more errors. I just, and by 5-3, this is what I was interested in. I was interested in this. I wasn't sure whether I should run out or just hit loose, but I figured that I could try to escape a checker, and that was really important. But Extreme Gammon says it's close, right? And since I was kind of undecided, it makes sense that it would be close. And I'm going to just run this through Extreme Gammon ++ to see if it holds up, because the 4-ply evaluation, or it's an XGR++ evaluation is really a mini rollout, like a truncated rollout. It rolls it out for a few rolls until it thinks it knows the answer. So it thinks it knows the answer now, and the difference between the two plays is very slight. So that's interesting to me.
Does everyone use XG here? That's on.
Yeah, somebody can chime in and unmute and talk. Everybody can unmute and talk.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions. This is a learning session for all of us.
Yeah, the game's over, and that's what this is for. We want
I would love to have a tutorial at some point on how you imported the information, and really it's Extreme Gammon is such a tool that I don't know how to use yet.
Yeah, so I think there are teaching videos in usbgf.org that talk about that stuff. Phil Simborg made a video how to use XG, and I think he might want $25 for it or something. It's really good, and you know, anybody could just email me with questions, and I can tell the kind of things I do with it. But like, for example, to get this file into XG in Heroes, they had a button that appeared after the match that said save file. I have a Windows system. I clicked the button save file, and then it created a text file, a plain text file, and I did a save as operation into my default place to save that stuff. And then I opened up Extreme Gammon and I did file import, just like I'm doing here. And then it says, what kind of file are you importing? And I said, other site is always safe, because this is like the format of the file. And then other site will get whatever it is. So then I clicked that, and then it brought me up a window to analyze the match. I clicked analyze, and it went through and it gave me an analysis, which we're looking at here. So it's really that simple, these common operations.
Well, it's simple. It's simple if you can wrap your brain around it. It's not simple.
It's not,
If-
yeah, I've been doing this for years. I mean, it's not like I knew how to do it when I first got XG. I had to learn it, but you know, anybody can ask me questions, or they can go online. Hopefully everybody's a USBGF member, US Backgammon Federation, hooray, hooray. And you know, if you're a premium membership, you get all kinds of, premium membership is like maybe $85 a year, and you get all kinds of great stuff. Primetime Backgammon magazine, all the back issues, going back to 2010 when it was first published. Teaching videos like you wouldn't believe, right? And of different levels of content, you know, beginner, intermediate, expert. So it's really tailored. There has to be something about XG on there. All right, moving right along. I ran to the outfield and I got hit. Antoinette was eager to hit me, and I stayed on the bar, and then Antoinette doubled me and I dropped, and Extreme Gammon says would have been a huge mistake to take it. Although I've got raw winning chances of 33%, it says right here, after double take, she can gammon me about the same. She can gammon me about as often as I win, and gammon wins the match for her. So I'll just give her a point, and I'll go on from there. So now I'll go to the next mistake. Okay, so Antoinette, it didn't like this. This was an early game problem. So Antoinette split with a 6-2, and then I made my, oh, now Extreme Gammon says doesn't like it at the score. So it's a slight difference. Remember when I was saying to whether I should, after I hit a checker here on my bar point, whether I should split or whether I should come down. And I said, well, the score might be a factor, but I'm going to split just like the robot would want me to do if it were 0-0. And I said, well, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to split because I know the robot likes it at a normal kind of score even. But I'm just interested to see what it thinks at this score. So it says it's too close to call. 0-0-3 is too close to call. So a rollout might be different. A rollout is when you make the robot play it all the way to the end a number of times. And that's more reliable than this is the XGR++. You see the plus icon. This kind of thing is like a truncated rollout, but a full rollout goes all the way to the end. It's going to be more reliable. Okay, so anyway, this was the position after that move for Antoinette with a 2-1. And Extreme Gammon doesn't like what she did, which is she came in with a 1. She came in and she split. And the robot is again saying that a better play would have been to make the outside point. And again, that's a random outfield point. It's points are good and blots are bad. That's a basic tenet. Even if they're bad, even if they're 11 point, you know.
Yeah, I split because I thought that you have no board. So even if you hit me, you have to point on me.
Yeah, I could, right. And I don't have all that many numbers to point on you, right? I've got, I have 8 ways to point on the 3 point. And I've got some of those are like monstrous, like 3, 5. And some of those pointing numbers wouldn't be very good. Well, I guess they would be. They would be. I could at least make the 3-point or something. And the trouble is that I've got an extra checker in the attacking zone. In other words, it's either in my board or aiming directly 6 away or less at open points in my board that I want to make. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the inner board, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So they say we have 9 in the zone. And against, if you're Antoinette's side and you're going to split against 9 in the zone, it might be right. Michi says, and you know, this is sort of conventional wisdom from a long time ago too. Against 8 in the zone, you can split if you want to. Against 9 in the zone, it gets dicey, and against 10 in the zone, you should not split. So if I had an extra checker on my 8-point in the same position, Antoinette would, splitting would be wrong,
Right,
very wrong.
right.
Extreme
Right.
Gammon says it's kind of wrong here, but you know, the thing is that the blot plus the extra attacking chances given me by splitting is probably why the robot doesn't like it.
Okay.
So I was thinking you should have made the 11-point at the time.
Okay.
So let's go to the next mistake, and the next mistake is my fat finger where I didn't double. I said I made this good argument for doubling, and then I hit roll instead of double. And it says that was
I would have passed.
yeah, and it says initially it says it was a take, and I would have expected a take. And it says, but now it makes it a little bit closer. So I'd have to do a full rollout to be really sure. But it says it's a XCR plus. I bet it comes out a take anyway, because you know there's a lot of ways for Antoinette to win here. You know, I could miss, I could hit, and then she could come in and survive. You know, like I hit with a 2-1, and then she came in and hit me back. But it was a big mistake not to double. It was, but it was not big. It was conceptually big not to double. But well, at least I had the right concept. It was a fat finger, right? But you know, you don't want to make 0.047 mistakes. You know, 0.1 is really bad. 0.05 is like half bad, and that's about what this is. You really don't want to. I call it a Whopper Junior. You know, a half a Whopper, and that's what I did by not doubling. But it's
Yeah,
close.
I
Good.
I just thought that, what is it? 5, 7, 9, 11. 11 in the zone, certainly, and you shooting at a blot, I thought would be a huge pass.
Yeah, so it might actually be a pass, okay? Because even though the robot tells us on this level of analysis it was a take.
We're seeing double pass.
Okay, so you're seeing double pass on mine?
Yes.
No, it's not. It says it says double pass. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm okay. I was looking at my no double. No, it is a huge pass. Okay, you're right. Yeah, Antoinette's absolutely right. I was thinking it might be a take, but that's my silliness. And Antoinette got it. You know, she said 11 in the zone plus a. You know, I could hit her with a 6, which would be devastating, or a 3, or a 2-1. So that's 15 numbers out of 36, and she's the match score. She could win the game, but it's hard sledding. You know, yeah, it's a huge pass. It's not just a pass. And I did think she might take, and I thought it was probably right to take. So I was way wrong.
I would not have taken this.
Yeah. So anyway, so Antoinette's right about that, and I was wrong about that. So
That is the one you meant to double, but just click the wrong button.
yeah, that's
Exactly.
what. Yeah, I was right. I don't have to worry about whether it's a take or a pass. All I have to worry about is whether it's a double, and I correctly determined it was a double, but I always fat finger online, and that's one reason I don't play more online. Is
Well, I appreciate that. I mean,
yeah.
that worked out well for me.
Yeah, so yeah, and then I got hit, and now it says I still should have doubled. And it's a big error not to double even here, because you know, I was afraid of what might happen, you know, but it's like, well, I still have this prime. I don't have to, if I double, I don't have to worry about being gammoned. It doesn't count double against me. I'm still the favorite. I still win a fair number of gammons. So this is a big mistake on my part, not doubling this. And I'm going to see how it's even bigger once I run it through the stronger analysis plus. Yeah, when in doubt, just double. I was thinking it might be a double, but I talked myself out of it. And then Antoinette hit me twice, and I came in, etc. And then we came to this position. This says this is an error on Antoinette's part.
What?
And this is really interesting here. No, this is what Antoinette did. She just made her 5-point. And it looks like that. And the robot is saying something really interesting. It's saying she should have made her 5-point with 2 of them. And then made her 12-point and then moved a checker from the 8 to the 7, which looks like this when you get done.
That is fugly. That's not ugly, it's fugly.
Yeah, fugly means I've seen ways variation of saying it's ugly.
Yes.
And I bet it's right anyway. But I didn't consider it. It's the kind of thing you don't consider over the board. I didn't. I thought, okay, she made her 5-point. What else is there? But I bet if I went back and tried to figure out why. One reason is that if I hit with a 5, I'm breaking one of the back points. Okay. The other reason is that, you know, it would actually look like this. If I hit with a 5, I'm breaking one of my defensive points. If I don't hit at all, which is nearly half the deck, 16 numbers don't hit at all. If I don't hit at all, then she's making 4 points in a row. And she's well on her way to squashing my little back game. And I'm just seeing what XGR++ says. XGR, because this is really interesting. This will repay study of back games for sure.
Sorry, Marty, can you go back to the initial position?
Initial position is this.
Okay, thanks.
From some of the players, I understand that XG doesn't really understand how to play back games.
It understands how to play this back game.
Yeah, this one, but a lot of back games have been proven that XG can't play against back games.
Yeah, the thing that in my studies, I've noticed that a lot of common kinds of back games it plays very well, and like what's called like a super back game where there's a ton of checkers back and you're really trying to contain. If you hit a checker, if you're playing the back game and you hit, and you have to roll checkers around in the outfield and make outside primes and things like that, or you know, that's where it gets confused.
Right.
But this isn't one of those. From this position it won't happen very much, and in the variations where if I sit on my back game point, my 2 back points, and I don't try to break forward, Extreme Gammon knows that my timing is bad. I'm only 24 pips behind, right, in the pip count. That's not a big timing advantage. I mean, I'd have to move a lot of pips and keep my back game points, and also not make my forward points go bust, where I couldn't block anything anymore, crash them down to the low points. I couldn't block anymore, and then I would, if I hit, I would have to contain with a few checkers, and it would be very bad. That's called crunching or breaking your board. When your inner board points go forward so fast that they're all piled up on low points. That's the bane of a backgammon. That's the worst thing that can happen if you're playing a backgammon. So I think Extreme Gammon probably is right about this one. But again, I didn't consider it while I was playing. I probably would not have gotten it right. Now, maybe on a good day, a very good day, maybe. But normally, like the way I was playing this past weekend of the tournament, I don't think I would have found it. I don't know what I would have done, but I certainly would have made the 5 point. But I might have just played safe. I'll hope to prime with my outside checkers too. But this is really interesting. So you can, look at this position and see what you really think. Then I just made then we, it came to, okay, now it says I made an error here, and I should have made my 3 point. Okay, so I had this position, and it says, oh, you should not let Antoinette advance in the outfield and also put you on the bar. Because this is the play I made. I ran out. It's not too bad. It's 0-3-5. I don't like to make 0-3-5 errors, but it says I should have made the 3 point, which looks like what you're seeing now. And I said, oh, I don't like to lose my 4 points in a row, but at least, it's not a back game, right? It's not a back game. It's sort of a holding game. Another innerboard point is useful. I was in the head of, I want to keep my 4 in a row. So I can see how this might be better. Because if Antoinette escapes, I've still got my holding points. I'm not trying to go backwards into a back game. I was happy to make the 17 point here. And it says the XGR++ is about the same level of error as the previous analysis level did. So then what happened? Oh, then now Antoinette. It says Antoinette made a bad play here. Yeah, I agree with the robot because I was thinking she should not be hitting me.
What's the play here?
Okay, 3-2. You have a 3-2 to play, and I'm in the original position.
And what did I do?
You hit with a 2 and you lifted to the 6 point.
Oh no, that's not right. I should have.
Looks like
played
that.
16. I should have played 16, 13, and 6-4.
That's right. And that's not hitting me at all. I'm just trying to.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can play your cheesy holding game, Marty, and
Yeah.
play the cheesy holding game, and which would look like this.
Yeah.
The 4 points in a row, and I'll just bear in and maybe attack on the 1 point, and maybe I'll win an undoubled gammon.
Yeah.
You notice that Antoinette wasn't doubling because she's got such a big advantage. A lot of her wins are going to be gammons.
And also this not making a correct play here, it was like I was moving too quickly. I didn't look at the play at all. So we have a tendency to do that too. So I needed to slow down here, which is what, unless if we're playing on a clock, that's one thing, but we need to look at all of the plays before we make a decision. And so, of course, that would have been a blunder. And had I slowed down, I would not have made that play. Putting another checker back just gives him an advantage.
So Marty, I think we're going to have to wrap up soon. So if you could
Okay,
just...
okay, let's go to the next. So what happened was, oh, this is interesting. So this was an error. I won't do any XGR++ anymore. So that takes a little time. In this position, Antoinette had a 4-2, and again, and she hit me. She hit once and came in. She made this play, and now that gave me a chance to hit. That gave me a chance to make that double anchor with a 1, which I luckily did. And I thought that was that was going to be wrong, and I thought maybe she could hit twice even and leave a bunch of blots just to keep me off that point. Extreme Gammon says no, don't even hit a second checker. Don't even put a second checker back, just hit loose. Just get them off the 1 point. And that's really interesting. That just says that Extreme Gammon is really afraid of the backhand. So that'll be interesting to look at later. But I would have, if I were in Antoinette's shoes, I think I would have hit twice like that. But no, hitting twice is this. Okay, I would, and I don't know what the right play is, but I'm pretty sure that Antoinette's play is not right. Hitting and coming in. I think either you hit twice or you don't hit, or you hit once down here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. So Antoinette now. Oh, this is bizarre. Okay. Oh, this is just a little technical thing. Okay. This is like Antoinette moved into her 5 point, and she could have an alternative play was, she could have just come into the 6 point and then gotten closer to home. So that's not a big error, if it is an error. The next one is, okay, so, all right, here I was thinking, this was interesting. Here I was thinking, should I hit or not? Or should I just?
All right, so my question is, was it right for me to double?
Okay, let's get there. So here I could have broken my board, and at least I saw it. I didn't do it, but at least I saw I could break my board. But instead, I said, all right, I'll let her out with the 6. Letting her out with the 6 is just the wrong idea, I guess. And then we got down to the doubling position. Okay, so it says no. It says no double.
Okay.
And it says I have 33% winning chances.
Okay.
And you have to be threatening to exceed my take point. And I said my take point was a little less than 25%. So it says, I was pretty sure I had more than 25%. I wasn't sure I had this. It depends on where the spares are. These spares are low, which is a negative, and I knew I should discount a bit for that, but I couldn't see that I had under 25%. So, and then I delayed doubling. And then I said, all right, I better do it before I forget. And it says just, no redouble the same as redouble, because she's going to take a redouble no matter what. So that's right. But then I just lost. There's one other interesting thing to talk about with your 2-1 or your 4-1 here. I'll go back to the initial position. So 4-1 here. So this is huge. This is a hugely right play, which Antoinette made. She was thinking whether she should go make this play and spot the 1 point or go to the 9 point. And it's like when you roll big to medium to big, this is hugely better. And even some smaller numbers like a 4-1, 5-1, 6-1 are hugely better because you get a checker off. And if you're somewhere in the middle, I don't know, like you're better off with a 5-4 or 6-3 if you make this play. But it was hard to see very much else. And so it says it's a pretty big error, 7-3. But then, it just came down to it. That without Antoinette having made that play, she would have been worse off by a whole. Yeah, she would have been worse off, much worse off. She would have wasted a pip.
Yeah.
And then instead of having 100% to win at the final turn, after I missed, she won. I didn't roll double twos, but otherwise, I think she would have had any one except double ones to miss. That's 10 out of 36. So her play, I believe, the 4-1 play was critical, or could have proven critical.
That's fascinating that one made that huge difference. It shows that it pays to think it through. So thank you both for an excellent match and excellent commentary, both while you were playing and afterwards. And thanks to all of our observers who came, had a nice turnout this evening. We will be converting this to a YouTube video, so you can check on the womeninbackgammon.com website to get the link to that when that's available. And next time on July 12th, Tuesday, July 12th at 7 p.m., we have another special treat coming up when two world champions will face off. Bill Raperti, a two-time world champion, will play Lee Ganute, who won the world championship in 1981 and just recently in Los Angeles came in as a finalist in the Wonder Woman event and won one of the doubles event. So thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed it and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks. It
Thank
was an
you.
honor to be here.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Antoinette.
Thank you, everyone. Wonderful program tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, Antoinette, Marty. Great job.
Thanks so much, Karen.